10 News at 10 in high definition.
Opponents of a proposed Walmart neighborhood market in Springfield are rolling out their latest effort, a legal defense fund. Good evening. I'm Ashley Katz.
Good to have you along once again, everybody. I'm David Oliver. Good to have you here. The opponents want their voices to be part of a lawsuit involving the city and the church that wants to sell its property to Walmart. Tonight, new at 10, Kevin Schwaller is live to explain how much money these opponents need to raise.
It's going to cost about $5,000 at first, and the opponents say it could cost about $25,000 to see this legal action through. One of the complaints is that a place such as this, a neighborhood market, would generate just too much traffic for the proposed neighborhood. That's over at Grant and Campbell. That's why they're back out again gathering signatures. This time, the signatures are for money.
We feel that this development is too intense for this area.
So Marla Morantz and the group Citizens Advocating for Responsible Development and Stand Up to Walmart are gathering pledges.
I have lived in the area. My daughter went to Sunshine School when I first moved to Springfield, and she learned to swim at Fast Night Park.
The money is to let opponents of the Walmart plan be heard in a lawsuit. The suit is blocking an election the opponents secured. It's the latest in a zoning back and forth. City Attorney Dan Wickmer says those trying to sell the property to Walmart filed the suit.
The church and the homeowner claim that they lost money on the property, or they'll lose money on the property because it's not zoned what they had applied for and received.
The new fundraising is similar to efforts in Raytown, Missouri. Walmart decided against new building there. However, Raytown spokesperson Brenda Gustafson says fundraising had little to do with the change in plans.
I think the reason that they pulled out is because of the length of time it was taking to get it to go through.
So Morant says the Raytown funds had a purpose.
It's a way for money and influence to weigh in and say we have the money to bring our opinion to the forefront.
The next part of the process is July 19th. That's when the issue goes to court. The question is, will opponents have enough money to be heard? Now, that initial $5,000 is a retainer fee for the attorney. The opponents believe they have a case to be a third party in this lawsuit. However, none of them could confirm to us today that the court would have to accept them as a third party in the suit. We also asked Morantz whether the donor list would be made public. She said that will likely be up to the attorney. Reporting live in Springfield, Kevin Schwaller, Color 10 News.
Kevin, thanks. New at 10, Mercy is 2 months away from seeing patients at its newest hospital in South Springfield. Workers are putting the finishing touches on the new orthopedic hospital located at Highway 65 and Evans Road. Mercy plans to open the clinic in mid-August, while the surgery part of the facility should be ready in mid-September. This 4-story hospital will have 10 operating rooms, 48 beds, and an emergency department. A plan for a veterans development marches forward. Last night, the Taney County Planning Commission approved the land use permit for Veterans Victory Village. The plan is to build 7 domed housing structures for veterans. Up to 250 families could live there. This permit is just the first step in a long process. Developers still need wastewater construction approval and a plan to expand the road going to the property.
Jamie Warner is back once again right now with your Ozarks first forecast tonight.
And we saw that rain sneak all the way south into Springfield, actually a bit further south than that, almost to the state line. The result of that shower activity, though, here in Springfield was a rainbow that could be seen just about across the entire town. And at times that rainbow very bright. This photo was sent in by Judy Cochran. This was from the Touch patio on the south side of Springfield. And you can see it there very, very nicely on off toward the east. The shower activity has just about come to an end. We had one lingering patch of isolated showers across southern Cedar County and northern Dade County and in northwestern Polk County. That activity looks like it's just about gone. Maybe a few light sprinkles in and around Fairplay and extending towards the west-southwest across Arcola. That will continue to fade, and then we'll be completely done with it. I think for probably the rest of the night, skies are mostly clear and temperatures are getting pleasant. It's actually already in the 60s in many areas, 66 now in Springfield. Your forecast tomorrow, a lot like today. We'll start off with patchy fog, generally a mostly sunny morning, and then as we get into the afternoon, we'll bubble up the clouds, and we could see a few widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, along with highs in the mid-80s.
Tonight, new at 10, the recent rain is beneficial to grape growers in the Ozarks. It means insurance for a possibly dry summer. Color 10's Laura Kennedy visited a Greene County vineyard for us today.
Last year's drought negatively impacted crops of every variety in the region. The owners of Tyler Ridge Vineyard and Winery in Springfield are thrilled that this year is much better.
Well, we don't grow the grapes.
Grape harvest is still months away, but Mike and Kathy Dennis are already excited. They own Tyler Ridge Vineyard Winery, one of the only businesses of its kind in southwest Missouri.
Grow, manufacture, and sell everything right here.
The wine that will be on their shelves in the coming years depends on the weather this season.
We've been delighted with the weather this year. I don't think we've got as much rain as some this last weekend where they had the heavy rains down south. We got about 1.5 inches here. But it's enough to keep a lot of moisture in the ground, which is good for the grapes.
Patrick Byers is a horticulture expert with the University of Missouri Extension. He says the grapes are doing well across the state, but says you never know what the summer will bring.
The grapes do very well here, but occasionally we get years like last year where it was very hot and very dry.
In a typical year, they usually get 7 tons of grapes from these vineyards. Last year, they only got 3, but this year they're saying is looking much better.
And it's good to see the ground with this much moisture in it going into a potentially hot, dry season.
We still have 3 months to get to till harvest, the rest of June, July, and August.
Mike Dennis will begin harvesting his 2013 crop at the end of July. He says a summer of sunshine might benefit the grapes as long as there's plenty of moisture in the ground. Patrick Byers says the only downside to the amount of rain we've been getting would be an increased chance of disease for the plants, but Dennis says he hasn't seen any problems yet this year.
Thanks, Laura. A bill on the Missouri governor's desk would make banks more competitive with payday loan companies. The goal is to create an alternative to short-term, higher interest loans. This bill actually allows banks to charge a higher fee for a so-called open-ended credit loan. Credit unions say they offer yet another alternative.
We do small consumer loans every day. We do not have a set dollar amount that we do. So we know that there's a need out there for the consumers to have some other alternative other than going to a payday lender that once they get in, they can't seem to get out.
A lobbyist for United Payday Lenders of Missouri says competition is welcome. Consumer groups like consumer credit counselors caution against creating a cycle of debt no matter where the loan originates. It's still not clear if the governor will sign the bill into law.
Tonight, new information for you about a man charged with murdering a Greene County couple. Jose Huckleberry is scheduled to be arraigned on Friday. He's accused of killing Don and Helen Willingham back in 2011. Deputies arrested him earlier this year. The Willinghams, you'll recall, both 79, were stabbed to death at their home just southwest of Springfield. Court documents show that Huckleberry told investigators he went into the home there to rob the couple. An Ozarks mother is accused tonight of killing her infant daughter. Court documents show 21-year-old Bobby Derryberry told investigators she dropped the 5-month-old on the floor because the girl wouldn't stop crying. The child was found unresponsive in a playpen on Sunday at a home over in Mountain View. Responders could not revive the girl, and she later died at the hospital.
New tonight, a 79-year-old woman died in a crash involving her SUV and a semi. It happened on Highway 37 near Purdy, that's in Berry County. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says Charlene Vanderpool of Washburn crossed the center line, hitting the semi head-on. The truck driver was not hurt. The Monette Times reports the collision spilled nearly 1,000 gallons of diesel fuel on the road.
Firefighters are floating an idea tonight to keep people safer at Lake of the Ozarks. The Osage Beach Fire Protection District wants to require more people to get their docks inspected. The district estimates that 75% of boat docks right now do not meet current compliance codes. This proposal would make people who plan to sell their docks to have them inspected and be in compliance before that sale can be completed. Also, new, remodeled, and relocated docks would have to be re-inspected. Firefighters feel these inspections might save lives.
Nothing we do at this level legislatively at the state will ever eliminate this risk. When you have a floating structure with electric, when you have water, there's always that risk. But the more awareness we can bring to check your dock, the more presence we can have to help you check your dock, to bring docks into compliance, will and probably has saved lives over the years.
The fire district says tonight thousands of docks do not meet those code requirements. A decision is going to be made now at next month's board meeting.
In tonight's political coverage, the U.S. House has passed an anti-abortion bill. It would restrict abortions to the first 20 weeks of pregnancy, except in cases where the life of the mother is at risk. Republicans argue the bill protects the rights of unborn children, which they say are able to experience pain at 20 weeks. But Democrats argued the bill is another attempt by Republicans to restrict women's rights and health care choices. The bill is unlikely to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate. Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill is the first member of Congress to endorse a presidential candidate for the next election. She's backing Hillary Clinton. McCaskill announced her support today on the website of a political action committee that's working to get Clinton to run for president. Now, in 2008, McCaskill endorsed now President Obama over Clinton during the Democratic Party primaries. Texting and driving, not the only bad habit for many teen drivers.
That's right. Their frequent mistakes are laid out in a new study tonight.
High schoolers, we think we're the top of the world or whatever, but we're really not.
The other risky behaviors commonly found in a car full of teens.
And we'd like you to find us on Facebook if you haven't already done it. It's easy to do. Look for the Facebook icon on ozarksfirst.com and go like our page.
Calendar 10 encourages you to join the No Text Zone. It's an effort to prevent texting and driving. And now a recent study tonight shows texting while driving among high schoolers is commonplace.
Nearly half reported texting while driving in the last month, which led to other risky driving behavior. Sergeant Jason Pace of the Missouri State Highway Patrol says teens lack experience and might be bigger risk takers, but they are not the only culprits.
In the state of Missouri, inattention continues to be the leading cause of all traffic crashes.
One of my friends passed away recently. They think she was texting and driving and she forgot to put her seatbelt on. So that could have been part of the reason, is because she was texting, so she got distracted and didn't think to put on her seatbelt.
The study also showed that those who were texting while driving were also more likely to drink while driving, drive without a seatbelt, and get into a car with an impaired driver.